Hello everyone, this is Daryl20 and welcome to episode 29 of Daryl20's Let's Play series, where I found myself a sunflower plains biome courtesy of my Nature's Compass, which is very cool. Basically beelined it all the way from my base over to here, and along the way I ran into a mushroom fields biome. So that's cool, just in case I ever decide I want to get some mushroom action going on or some other cool mushroomy type things. But that's not what we're here for today. What we're here for today is a couple things. First off, new mod in the pack version, the no soliciting sign will prevent wandering trader spawns within 6 chunks of the player. There's also the anti-solicitor talisman, which I've just crafted, and is apparently a curio. And that should prevent wandering traders from spawning anywhere near the player. Curious if it'll work with the rats wandering trader? I guess we'll find out at some point soon. That said, I went to the sunflower plains in order to get sunflowers such that I could now grow a bunch of those. Hooray! And that's pretty cool. And that'll get me some yellow dye for my color applicator, because today we're going to be amping up and cleaning up the AE system. So let's put those sunflowers into the sag mill. No sag mill? Sunflower recipe? Interesting. The rose recipe exists, but the sunflower doesn't. Squeezer, crusher, enrichment chamber, pigment extractor. All right, well, I'm just gonna have to survive. Yeah. Crushing wheel can do it. Mixer, yeah, all the things. Which one of these? Solidification chamber. Crushing macerator gets me 3 with a chance at 1 more. I could do that one. Sure, why not? Little tick accelerating to make sure it happens a little bit quick. So between episodes, I made it so that this thing had plenty of colors in them. We're going to throw yellow in there. Might not be a bad idea to get some yellow going on. Some orange maybe soon. We'll see. But at least for now, we have a lot of color applicator choices. And then we can go start setting up the AE system here, right? So that should be good times. So let's start off by adjusting a few things. First off, this one. I know this channel line is a problem, right? He should be at 8, because remember we ran out of channels over here previously. So let's tidy this up a little bit. Now this is awfully close to where a lot of things are. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this. Okay? And then we're going to lay down some dense Fluix cable. And as soon as I put that there, we should see 8 channels in use here. And what I'm going to do is swap this guy out, this guy out. Maybe I should have done my jetpack before I did this whole thing, but whatevs. And this guy out. So now we should see 4 there, 2 there, and 2 going off in that direction. Okay? And the reason that, we're doing this, obviously, is because now we have support for way more channels over in this general area. Way more. I'm going to swap out pretty much everything. Now, I haven't entirely decided how the color coding part's going to work. You would think I would have done that, considering I spent a not insignificant amount of time last episode preparing for that piece. But, it's dire. It's not surprising that he's not fully fleshed out what he's going to work on. But yeah, the plan is to get rid of all the basic cables and have everything be smart Fluix cables. Okay? And that should be fine. Cool. Okay, great. Now for you, what do we got going on in use over here? I would like to get P2P action going on sooner than later, but we'll see. So you've got 4 of 8 channels going on. Now I could wind up a couple different things we could do, right? A couple things we could P2P this, and that might not be a terrible idea. And the other thing is I disconnected this. I'd like to reconnect it underground. So in theory, I should have no problem coming over here and reconfiguring this guy like so. That looks cool. Like I said, I probably should have gotten my jetpack going, but that's okay. That's okay. Where's my shrinky dude? Good, you're still set to 0.2. Okay, so you're going to come in here. Magnet off for a sec, just because, you know, things are going on with the magnet. That looks good. Sweet. Man, it is very disorienting being this tiny. It's just not something I'm prepared for. Okay. So that covers all that, and we've got, again, the 4 channels in there, because we've got the crafter up here is one of them. There's a few things that is. So should we P2P that? How should we handle that? Because what I should probably do to make this a little bit nicer looking, just a smidgen nicer looking. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tidy this up. I have a plan for making it look good. And that plan simply involves running this cable under here. And that should be cool. And now you still do need to exist, yes. Okay, that's fine. Just a little bit of rewiring today, folks. And that's why I like AE2, because, like, part of the game is figuring out the network, right? And making it look good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these guys, and we're going to learn P2P real quick. So P2Ps are super convenient ways to transmit a large number of channels, like 32 of them, without a large number of dense cables. Because dense cables are expensive. It's 4 times as many of a normal cable. So if I wanted to run this like 100 blocks, that would be really expensive. But we can use P2Ps to do that. Now, before I run that, I'm going to need a memory card, and I just broke the thing that would let me access this wirelessly, but let's get a memory, dude. Shouldn't be too hard, hopefully. Yeah, you don't know how to make those because we're broken right now. Okay, well then we're just going to have to reconnect things. So let's do this. Let's temporarily connect you guys back up. And my goal for today is to make the base look nicer, okay? And then you can go back into place, and you can go back into place, and you. Sweet. Okay. So memory cards, now we should be able to autocraft that again because everything's back up and running. And the memory card is how you program your P2Ps. Okay, so think of a P2P as like a little tunnel that you can connect up with. So what we're gonna have here, okay, I'm gonna break you guys again. Okay, is we'll start with a P2P here, and then we'll use our memory card to save that configuration. What it does is it gets a little unique identifier on it, okay? And that's saved to the card. So now it's saved that P2P connector. Now I'd like to remove all of these cables if I can. Now what's on the other side of you? You've got a laser IO node on the other side of you. So that's not ideal. What about here? Could I put you here, you think? Yeah, I think that should be doable. So if I put the storage bus there, again with a super high priority. Okay, now that's a facade, so that's telling me that there's probably a cable on the other side of that dude, right? Yes, perfect. Sweet. And then we should be able to do that. And that looks a little bit cleaner, right? And everything here should be working. You're offline because this whole cable line's not set up yet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to run cables into a wall here. And what I'd like to have is a cable here with a facade in front of it. Boop. And that'll look a little bit cleaner, I think. Okay. And then we could, in theory, so you're going to be here. So if I run that straight across like that, that should bring everything back online, right? The only thing we need to do is bring that P2P back. Now, this is a very short-ranged P2P, so he's not super necessary to be a P2P, to be fair. I'm debating if I even want to do this here because we realistically only have, Yeah, let's skip the whole P2P setup on this one. We realistically only have a few channels in use here, right? 3. So is it really worth doing that? I don't think so. But you're back online now. See how you're producing stuff? You guys should all be online. You guys are online, which looks good, right? I can cover this wall back up. And this guy should be online. Sweet. That looks really good, I think. So that's way, way cleaner looking. Yeah? Okay, and since you're only using 3 channels, we won't P2P this. But what we will P2P in a moment is probably going to be in the basement. And that's where I want to set up my crafting. So what I'd like to have, and I'll stick this back to being... I knew this was supposed to be 4. I was like, what did I forget to rehook up? And then I tried to open up my wireless dude, and yeah, that's what I forgot to hook back up. So for now, I'll leave this here. If at some point in our future we decide like, hey, I need to have more channels over there, like a lot more channels, then we'll P2P over that thing. But there's no reason for the complexity to set that up right now. Fair? Yeah, I don't think we need to do that. We'll do P2P in the basement for these dudes, okay? So the next thing I want to get is some 16K crafters. So I'm going to want like 7 of those. That's going to need a lot of resources I don't have. All right. So let's get like 4. Is that do it? Wow, we're actually quite low on redstone. We need to look at automatic resource production sooner than later, I guess. Should I get 4K crafters? Let's get 4K crafters. Okay. So what I'm going to do over here is just teach you how to make 4K crafters. Okay. All right, I broke that pattern assembler. That's all right. We can put that down manually. So if I wanted like 3 more of these, that shouldn't be a problem, right? A little expensive, but not terrible. And that'll let me have 4 4K craftings. Cool. Okay. Then what I'd like to do is my standard chandelier build with the pattern providers. Now, I don't know exactly how this is going to be, you know, let's see. So we're going to need a bunch of things, realistically. We're going to need, if I want to make this, I need 33 pattern providers and 77 molecular assemblers. It's a lot. I don't know if we're going to have the resources for it. I might have to mine a little bit to get them. And if I do, then I do. And I'll do that off camera. So once this is done crafting, right, I can at least get you and you placed down. Now remember to separate these because these are multi-blocks. So if you build them like this, that's only going to be 1 crafter capable of doing 8K. That's not what we want, right? We want multiple crafters going on there, right? And that should be 8 channels and you're all online. So now I can do 3. I'll just do 2 at a time for now. That should be 7 channels. We're going to move that whole setup though. So if I wanted pattern providers, we're going to want like 30 of those-ish. That's going to need a healthy amount of iron. Okay. And then molecular assemblers, we're going to want 77 of. And that's going to need iron, gold, and redstone. So 2 things. 1, I think we are actually okay on iron if I were to run it through there. And how are we for gold? Not terrible. So if I threw gold in there, he should process pretty good. And the vibrant alloys is going to help. Okay. And I would like you to actually be a pull from the top so that I can throw my dusts in there. Okay. So all that iron dust that we're making can go right in there. He'll be pulled in, he'll be smelted, and he'll be pushed out the back into the A system. Cool. And then the same kind of deal can be said for gold. Cool. That works for me. So once that's all taken care of there, and then we can make more vibrant alloy grinding balls as we need. So now a bunch of gold dust. You're also ready to smelt. Okay. And now all I need is more redstone. So remind me, redstone ore is most frequently found world gen wise. Overworld mining dimension at Y level 6 seems to be a good place. So that's where I'm going to probably go. Y level 4 actually is about the best, right? 6 is a little less. Okay. Overworld mining dimension. that stuff's found pretty commonly at the super Y level low. Okay, so we should probably just go down there, like really deep in the Y level of the mining dimension. So I'm going to go mine real quick off camera with my 5x5. Can't do 7x7 yet because we don't have nether stars, but at some point soon we'll get them. Whee! So I'm just going to head way down deep low, and then we'll be back in a minute once I get all the resources I want. Cool? So I'll be right back. So mining is way cooler now because with wireless power transfer, my mining gadget never runs out of power. So just I can run it whenever. That's number one. Number two, I can just send home any stuff I collect, and it'll land right in the A system. All right, let's see. How do we make out? First off, deposit all that experience I just got, and decent amount of redstone. That works. Okay. So now let's prep those again, right? So what I'm looking for is pattern providers times about 30-ish. That'll do. And molecular assemblers times about 77. Wow, actually, I need more oak for that. I can make that happen. I got more oak. Haha, rats made a little house out of the oak log, so that's cool. Go, rats, go. I was like, how did that thing happen? Oh, nope, that's rats for you. Sweet. And we now have 77 crafters complete. So now what I'm going to do is pick up all this stuff, and I'm going to put all the patterns in this chest, because we don't need those no more. And I'm going to take you guys as well. And we should probably tidy up this cabling a little bit, because this is obviously a little bit of a mess. What I should do is... I'll clean that up after I get this going. Yeah, it sounds cool. All right, so now for you, what I'll probably do is each corner of these can be a chandelier setup. That could be neat. I'm hoping that'll be neat. It might fit. I don't know. I don't know if it'll fit, but I guess we'll see, right? All right, so let's do 82 chandelier. So I'm going to show you guys how to build this. I've built it many times before on camera, so if you guys have seen it before, I apologize. It is what it is. It's a very efficient space way of having many crafters all in one location. So to get it going, I'm going to start with, let's go 4 down and see how that works. And I might, let's get out the old Zycraft balloon on a stick dude, because that should be a cool thing to place down. Okay, so now I can at least creative mode flight my way around this thing a little bit. So from here, we're going to want a couple things. We're going to want a bunch of anchors. So let's get those ready to go. I guess nickel's a fine ingot. Can zinc be a... No, nickel. Nickel will do. 64 of them. More than enough. And then we're going to want you guys. We don't need too many of the Fluix cables. We are going to want the pattern providers and molecular assemblers ready, though. Okay? So from here, we're going to branch off each side of these. Okay? And from there, we're going to place anchors all around. Okay? So having creative flight for this is relatively important, as you can see. It will make your life a lot easier. So luckily, Soren's given us a nice, short range at least, way of doing creative mode flight, which is pretty cool, actually. I do like the balloon on a stick concept. It is very cool. It could use some client-side tweaks, but overall not terrible. Okay? So that's step 1, building out that thing. Now, around those guys, we're going to build some pattern providers, and that's going to go in a pattern like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now in total, remember, you need 32 of those pattern providers, and the molecular assemblers, we need the 77. So pro tip, have the right amount in your inventory so that when you're doing this, you don't get confused. Okay. And if you want to follow this as a guide on the internet, just Google AE2 Chandelier. It's usually the first hit that comes up from me, and it's a Reddit post that somebody made a long time ago. It has the old the old way of doing it without pattern providers, but it used to be interfaces you put here. Just, you know, that's fine. Just that is what it is. Okay. Now, underneath that, we're basically going to put pattern providers on top of all the molecular assemblers. Okay. Cool. And then in the middle here, we'll put another dense cable, and we'll have these guys, the molecular assemblers, in between all them. Okay. The next layer down, we repeat the process. So we have you, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that guy in the middle. Cool. And then the top layer is going to match the previous layer. So that will be these guys on top of all the assemblers, and then these guys inside all the middles. And if you've done it right, you're using all 32 channels all at once. Now you'll say to yourself, Dyer, I have so many more molecular assemblers in my inventory. What's up with that? What's up with that is that those go all around the outside of all the interfaces now. Okay, so literally on every spot that there is an interface, or not interface, but pattern provider, okay, they just kind of go all the way around that. And if you do it right, you should wind up using every single one. And if you use up every single one, you know you did it right. That's why I always have the right amount in my inventory, because then I know, hey, I don't have any extras. I've done this correctly. Now, whether or not this is going to fit properly down here is a good question. I guess we'll find out. See, I did something wrong because I have one extra. No, I didn't do anything wrong. I have one extra. The reason I have one extra is because I made 77, but there was one up here that I broke earlier. Remember? Remember I broke that one? That's the one I broke, right? So, like I said, have the right amount in your inventory, otherwise it gets confusing. But that's the AE2 chandelier. And that, in my opinion, is a really nice setup. Now, how big of a problem do you think it would be to cut and paste this guy? That might not be a good idea. I think that might not be a good idea at all. But I'm thinking about doing it, and I'll tell you why I'm thinking about doing it. It occurs to me that I will not be able to put another one right here, right? Like, that's just not going to fit. But I bet if I moved this, like, more into this corner, I could have one in the corner here and one in the corner there. I think I'm gonna do a backup start. Thanks. Yeah, good call. Before you do something this stupid, and it's really quite stupid, back up your world, okay? So let's get ready to cut and paste this guy. So what I'm gonna do is, you are in paste mode. You don't have anything to paste, I presume. Let's unanchor you. Anchor cleared. Replace drops blocks off. Okay. Yeah. You should be cool. So let's do from here to here. Now, I can tell you for a fact you can't copy-paste these because cables will be a problem. AE2 cables don't tell Minecraft what blocks they're made from because they do like a tricky thing to support all the multi-blocking they do. So copy-paste does not work. So keep that in mind, right? So now we're just going to go into the settings menu. We're going to move the Y down a few, and then we're going to move the Y up a few. And confirm that. Does that look right to you guys? So yeah, it's going to encapsulate everything. Though cut and paste might work. One more Y level? I think that is true. Confirm. Okay. So this, I'm going to give it like a 30% chance of working. No idea if it will or not, but we're going to cut. I mean, it's doing things, so that's cool. Okay. And then you're in paste mode. Let's go into the settings menu. Let's clear that. Okay, so you don't seem to want to... Oh, there you are. Cool. Okay. Let's anchor you. It's not... It looks like it's doing something, right? It's not rendering the cables, but it's at least looking like it's doing something. So you're touching the wall there. You're touching the wall there. Do I want that touching the floor, or do I want to move it up 1 or 2? How about we move it up 1 or 2? So settings menu, move it up 2. Does that sound cool? And then I can walk under it. Yeah, I like that. I like the sound of that. And then we should, I mean, it might work. You ready? Paste. It looks like it worked, right, folks? Doesn't it look like it worked? Kind of look like it worked. Did it? Error, too many channels. Okay, that's possible. You may not have properly copied and pasted some things. Why does it feel like we're missing some interfaces in the middle there? It kind of feels... No, we're not. We're not, because we placed the things on top of the thing, right? It might just be saying error, too many channels, because we don't have the appropriate amount of stuff. Now, technically, we don't need an anchor here, but I like to have anchors when I don't want things connecting. Okay? So if I do that, and then I do this, and then I do this, network booting, 32 devices online. It seems like it's working, doesn't it? I mean, it really, really does. It really feels like that was cool. Yeah. Now that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wide. And if I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 8. So I think it's probably not wide enough to stick another one in here. But at the very least, we could put another one in this corner and be fine. And then if we decided we wanted to expand things out, we could probably find a way. Deal? All right, so that works. So that's our first chandelier. We may need more than one. We may not throughout the series. We'll find out. But oh, I think that's cool. I think that's cool. And I'm very, very impressed that the copy-paste worked, because I did not expect that to work. I expected some kind of problem, and it seems to be fine. And I'm kind of shocked by that. All right, so that said, maybe we color applicator that thing? Yeah, I guess we could do that. Let's keep the balloon on a stick here. Yeah, we did the whole color applicator thing. We should probably use it. So we'll call this like the red crafters. Just to kind of do that. Now, can I color applicator any of the stuff in here? I don't know that I can. Some things you can color applicate, some things you can't. Okay, shift right clicking changes the color of the color applicator. Today I learned that trick. Okay, so that works. So now what I'll probably do, I got an idea. What I'll do is run over here all my coprocessors, my 4K crafting storages. Now, do you think I could make a few more of those? Maybe. First things first, though, let's get these guys set back up. Deal? So to do that, I will put away some things I don't need at the moment, like the sleeping bag. I can put you away, I can put you away. I want some of these things, but I don't want all of these things. How about you can go away. And the color applicator and the memory card can go away, and that should be cool. And then I can have 2 rows of my Autocrafters. And here's a tip for you, recommendation, up to you. But when you open this up, you'll notice there's this giant section of molecular assemblers. It's more efficient for Autocrafting purposes to fill it the way I am here. Go down a row, or get down a column, I mean, before you fill up a whole row. And the reason to do that is it'll spread out the crafting patterns to multiple interfaces. And when you do that, they will likely not be touching the same molecular assembler, which means you probably won't be crafting 2 things at the same time. You know, like, for example, this requires this, requires this. These are in 3 different interfaces, which means they're probably touching different molecular assemblers, which means all 3 of these can be crafted at the same time. If you did it like this, they're all in the same interface. This is an interface right here, so, or a pattern provider. So if you do that, it's not as efficient. Will it still work? Yes. Is it a little bit better? Also yes. If you don't understand what I said, take my word for it or don't. It doesn't matter. Like I said, it's not important. It'll be a little bit more efficient if you're trying to go for efficiency. Sweet. So now we have tons and tons and tons of Autocrafting space, which I'm excited about. Way more Autocrafting capability. So now let's do this. Let's get our 4Ks up and running. So do I have the stuff for 4 more 4Ks, or would that be like asking too much? Actually, for some reason, we're low on Certus Quartz crystals. Can somebody explain why? You keep doing a thing, don't you? I guess every now and then we lose the Certus Quartz crystal somehow. I'm not sure how. There we go. And then doot, and then back. Sweet. Okay. So that should fix that. Magnet off, please. I really need to figure out how to make the magnet not do the thing. Is there like an upgraded version of the magnet that has filters on it? Items can be filtered. So yes. You deny a vendor. Not a big deal. Not anymore, at least. Oh, look at that. Whoa, cool. We have a range. That's cool. Experience on. Item filter. Blacklist. I would like you guys not to be picked up. Certus Quartz and charge Certus Quartz. Oh. Oh my, that's cool. That's very cool. Now, annoyingly, redstone and quartz, I don't want to add to my filter. Because when I go mining, I do want them picked up. Though, in fairness... maybe. Maybe I'll put them on the filter. Because that's the other thing that drops here, right? Oh, and I should probably do this. And I guess while I'm at it, I'll do redstone and quartz. Okay. And that should be fine. Cool. And then you guys all go away. Oh, I guess, yeah, that would do it too. Ignore NBT? Yeah, ignore NBT. I wonder if that would be sufficient to... we'll see. Nope. Chipped. Flawed. What I should do, what I should really do, is move this whole setup into, like, a dimension that I'm never likely to be standing near. And then that would be a much better solution. Like, throw it in one of these guys, right? Make a hyperbox, put this setup in it, done deal. The only thing we'd have to do is, we'd probably have to wireless infinite range the thing. But yeah, we'll see at some point in the future, maybe. And because I don't think my fellow flare lantern was reaching all the way down here, I threw another one in the sub-basement, and that should light up the room nicely. All right, I think it's wrapping up point. So that was my sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Let's come back next time. A system way more tidy now, right? I think we can all agree that there's definitely improvement here. There's probably a few places it could still be improved, right? A little bit more tidying to do, but mostly off camera I'll handle that. We haven't actually needed the P2Ps yet. I'm surprised. Though I haven't done all that much with AE. I'm going to clean up this cabling off camera. I'm basically just going to run it. It's really only using one channel, so at this point, I don't see a need to go crazy. Though we will have more channels over here, because I want to censor these guys so that I can turn off the pedestals when we have the right amount of resources, right? Like when we hit 2,000 gravel, turn it off. That would be cool. Or 2048, I can make it whatever. We should be able to do that. And the same for sand and obsidian. And then in addition, this thing will just always run, because I don't think there's any harm in that. I don't know if he even responds to redstone, does he? He doesn't have a UI that tells me he responds to redstone. Yes, he does respond to redstone. Okay, well that's cool. We can move the snow guy down here, so we need sensors for him. So we're going to need a decent amount of sensors in this room, so we might actually need to P2P this setup. So what I'll do is maybe do that next episode. Yeah, I will show you P2Ps properly next episode. For now, wrapping up point though, Del20 sign off. Hope you enjoyed it. What I will do also is get ready to, you know what I'm going to do real quick? I'm going to move the snow guy down into the basement, and instead of having the snow guy there, I'm going to have the matter condenser there. And the matter condenser I'm going to set up with this, condense into singularities. And in theory, he should be running now. So if I just leave him be, we will eventually get some singularities. And that would be cool. Okay? And then we can try out Can we get infinite range? I'm not sure. We'll see. For now, wrapping up Point L20 sign off. Take it easy.